Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and we are going to be doing our results for the month of October. Let's go ahead and jump right to it. I haven't done a results video since, did I even do one for June? I did one for June, but I haven't budgeted since June, so I haven't done one since then. I might trip over my feet a little bit, but do bear with me. But before we jump right in, just to give you guys a brief overview, this is an Erin Condren monthly planner. This is in the 7x9 size, and we are cashless budgeters. All the stickers that you guys see in here are from my Etsy shop. We don't use cash for anything. We are strictly credit card, electronic budgeters, but let's go right into it. So for this results video, let's go ahead and tally up all of our totals for our expenses. So mortgage, we estimated it at $2,222 because that's what it used to be. I was hoping that it wouldn't go up by too much, but it definitely went up by almost $100. That estimate minus what it actually was $2317.66. That means we were negative for this category, $95.66. Luckily, our other categories that we estimated at were a little under. So that means for gas, our estimated at 100 when it was actually 31.70 means we had 68.30 left over. Our electric category, 150 minus 83.42 means we had a variance of a positive 66.58. Mobile, 180 minus 177.79 means we had $2.21. 175 minus 171.35 for my student loans is $3.65. 125 minus 124.40 for my husband's is 60 cents. And then our holder category, same as always. If you guys watched my October budget with me, you guys will know what that purpose of that category is. It's primarily so I have a whole number to remember. Like for the month of October, I know I needed $31.75 for all of our variable and fixed bills. But now to add up all of the actual, so $2317.66 plus $31.70 plus $83.42 plus $177.79 plus $171.35 plus $124.40 equals a total spent of $2,906.32. Now for our variance. So adding all of this up together is $5,884. And just to check too, we had $2,965.16 minus the $2,906.32. Perfect. So this matches perfectly for what we have. And also, if you guys watched the week 4 check-in, you guys will see that's also how much we had left over, $58.84. So that matches very nicely. That means for bills, our actual amount for bills was $3,116.16 that we spent for all of our bills combined. I'm going to put that in our overview too. So bills was $3,116.16. Did we talk about credit score? Oh, we did. We talked about our monthly credit score. All right, okay. For our daily, let's check this out too. For eating out, I'm going to just transfer all these amounts over. So the end amount for eating out was $11. Groceries was negative $128. I realized I have to stop writing sideways so you guys can actually see it. Pups and bean was also negative $18. We had $19. We had $19 and $41 left over in allowance. All of these amounts added together is going to be a negative $75, which equates to what we checked in for week 4 as well, that negative $75. So for eating out, we spent a total of $289. I think it's crazy that we spent so much more for groceries, but I know we did restock on a bunch of things for this month. And we're spending a lot on groceries for next month too. Groceries are just so expensive now. Even like the basics like ramen and stuff, it's so expensive. I definitely need to take a look back at our groceries and see like what exactly we're spending on and try to look for cheaper alternatives. We have a tendency of getting food in bulk from Costco and freezing it so we can like use it over time, so it's cheaper, but we'll talk about that in another video. For gas, we spent a total of $131. Allowance, we spent a total of $34. For pups and baby, we spent a total of $93. That means the total we should have spent $1,075. That's why we equal to -75. So that's looking good. Let me put that in our overview too. We spent a total of $1,075 from our daily. Now to talk about our sinking funds, to wrap up our sinking funds. Sinking funds, we had quite a bit of expenses. Oh my goodness, I'm so nervous to see how much negative we are in certain categories. So for car insurance, this did not come out in October. It is going to come out in the month of November. Sewer and water. Sewer did come out. That was $148. So that one's checked off. I am going to just like kind of skip around because it's easier for me. But we have one holiday expense that was $59. I ended up changing Christmas to holiday to cover all of the holiday expenses because for Thanksgiving we want to buy some food for a Thanksgiving meal, and I don't want to pull it from groceries because I know it's going to be a bit of a chunk. Same with for Christmas, like Christmas decorations or Halloween candy, like things like that. But I decided to change this last minute. Then we had our gifts and treating. We have two of them. So we have $28, and then we also spent $109. So $109 plus 28 equals $137 that we spend from gifts and treating. Next, we have our car maintenance. Car maintenance came out. That was $135. You guys might hear my baby in the background. She's downstairs. She's eating food, and if you don't feed her fast enough, she starts yelling at you. But for dates, it's $92 that we spent. Pups food, we also spent money, which was $124, or what am I saying, $121. Then we have one home category, that was $244 for home. It's funny because when I set up the sinking funds, I was like, we never really touch our home category, but then we ended up making a purchase this month. So it kind of just happens, I guess. But we have one unbudgeted expense that was for $43. We ended up getting the Ring subscription. It is per year, so that was $43. Last but not least, looks like the rest of them are all medical. So those are the only ones I don't have like a double check for. I just really like the visual of checking things off. So 42 plus 319 plus 95 plus 196. That means the total we spent for medical is $652. Oh my goodness. And especially because like I have a tendency of like missing things a lot, so checking it off ensures that I don't miss anything. But now that these transactions for the month are now checked in, let's go ahead and balance out how much is in each category remaining. And let's see, so car insurance, we still have $450 in here. Next month, this is going to come out, it's going to be a lot less. Sewer and water, we had $200 plus 50 minus the 148 means we have $102 in here for sewer water. Holiday, we had $300 plus 50 minus the 59. We still have $291 in here. Pups medical, nothing changed. Well, we added 20, but nothing came out. Then we have medical, which was $200 plus 200 is $400 minus the 652. Means we are negative by $252. That is quite a bit to be negative by. I usually do let the accounts go into negative, but sometimes I do end up pulling from savings to put it back into positive. I'm gonna see if we can try to just pull ourselves out of this with next month's sinking funds amount. So let's just see how it goes. For baby category, we have $250 still. I don't know why I thought we spent from this category this month. I guess not, because her medical bills I pull out of just our generic medical bills. Maybe next month I probably won't put anything in here and just focus on medical. Anyway, okay, so for car insurance, we had 100 plus 100, so that's $200 minus the 135 for car tags, positive $65 remaining. Gifts and training, we had 150 minus the 137. That means we have $13 remaining. Home, we had 100 plus 25. That minus 244 is another negative $119. Dates, we had 50 plus 70. So 70 minus 92 is a negative $22. Clothes, we have a positive 100. Pups food, we are negative as well because we had 100. We added $10, so we're negative by $11 in here. Easy Pass, these three categories, no money came out, so that's 25. This is still at 50. Beauty, we added 50, so this is at 125. And then unbudgeted, we had 100 plus 50. That minus the 43 means we are at $107 for unbudgeted. I'm going to go ahead and add up both of these categories and I'll give you guys the total down here in a second. Alright, so our totals down here for the month, we spent a total of $1,631 from our sinking funds. The remaining that we have left over is $1,294 in our sinking funds, and that also matches our check-in, the $1,294, which is perfect. So let's actually write that amount for sinking funds. $1,631. All right. Now the last things that I want to also just plug in the numbers for is for our quarterly check-ins. I wanted to just fill in the categories real quick for our sinking funds, but the back here is essentially our quarterly check-in. So for the first quarter of the year was January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September was a fail because I didn't budget, but I do have videos of all of these setup videos along with the results videos for you guys, except for the results for this because I didn't budget. But for the fourth quarter, I want to fill this in. Since I always forget to fill it in with you guys, I like to just kind of have an overview of how much or how often we use certain categories. Like gifts and treating, I honestly think we use every single month of the year so far. It's kind of a lot when I add it all together. For the first quarter was $424, second quarter was $424. Okay, that's actually kind of funny that they're both $424. I didn't see that before, but I use this category very often. Unfortunately, I don't have this month to check in for, but starting off on the same pattern. So for gifts and treating, we also spent from this category too. I don't know why I'm going out of order, but gifts and treating was $137. But let me just transfer over these numbers real quick. Okay, so I just wanted to transfer over these numbers real quick so they reflect here. Of course, it's very easy to just go back through each month to check sinking funds too, but I personally just am very, very fond of having overviews. I just love having overviews and different ways to look at all the numbers and analytics. I think at the beginning of the year too, it also helped out because we were doing savings challenges a lot and I was pulling from sinking funds, but I didn't necessarily want how much we spent to reflect it, since savings challenges is not necessarily me like spending the money, it's me saving the money. For example, like gifts and treating could have been like $20 more, but that $20 went towards savings, so I didn't include that here. That's kind of an example. I really like to see how much every quarter we spend. So for the first quarter we spent $2,800, $2,600. It's kind of a bit. I tried to remember that we also have bills that come out of here, like car insurance, sewer and water, other things that kind of take a toll. Medical, for example, was quite a bit. not this quarter, but medical can be a lot, but it's just a nice way for me to see everything. So that's kind of just a brief overview of this bag, but of course I do talk about it more in the setup videos and the results videos, but I don't want to bore you guys too much if you guys know it. So for mobile, I also want to write in all of our bills for this month too. So for mobile, it was $177.79. Some months is like the same for mobile, and some months is like slightly different. Like these last 2 months has been $3 more. I don't know why. But then we have gas. Gas was $31.70, which is nice. Sewer, how much was sewer? Sewer was $147.60. Electric was $83.42. And then our mortgage is now $2,317.66. So I don't track all of the bills in here. It's mainly just like the variable ones, or the bigger, more important ones to me. I have never really thought about tracking other ones, especially like subscriptions and stuff. I'm mainly focused on ones that fluctuate a lot and I can see patterns throughout the year, so I know how much to budget for. Like for gas, for example, it has a tendency of going up to the hundreds earlier in the year, while later in the year it kind of drops back down into the 30s. November for electric last year was very little, and I think it was like a correction. But then again, November for the year 2021 was so much, so I don't know. I guess we'll find out when we get our bill for November. I want to just fill this in with you guys as well. And then the last thing I want to fill in with you guys is for our budget results. This is so sad and blank. The first 2 quarters we did so well, but that's kind of another reason why I like to budget quarterly. I feel less bad about it if I fail to budget every month. So the numbers, I still have an accurate number for certain quarters, but that's okay. So for her budget results for October, let me fill this in and then we'll talk about it together. Okay, so I just filled it in real quick just so I can talk to you guys about it. Let me actually get one of my little mild liners out because I like to draw a line here. So this spread in the back can be used. Okay, maybe this wasn't the most matchy color, but I mean, it's a little too late now. But the spread back here, it can definitely be used different ways. It could just be like income, it could be fixed and variable, like across the board. It could be categorized by all of your different categories that you have. For me, that I personally like to do it is just strictly by sections. But of course, these are all customizable to whatever types you want to put in and however you want to deduct it. But for me, I like to do it per sections. So for our income, we know that our income was $5,000. We are on a zero-based income, so every dollar goes somewhere. So the budget was $5,000 and the actual was $5,000 as well. Then our daily, which are these 5 categories, we set up a budget of $1,000 for ourselves. That is right here. Our actual we spent was, we already closed out, was $1,075, which left us with a negative of 75. For bills, we have a budget of all of our variable and fixed bills. Adding these together, we had $1,375 as our budget, but our actual was $31,1616. So our budget actual is $31,1616. That left us with a positive of 58. Oops, I'm putting it in red, but 58.84. Now for sinking funds and ally, because this is strictly with our budget, right? So we already checked in for the 1,000 on this side. We checked in for the 31.75 at the bottom. The last section is here, which is our sinking funds and ally. So these sinking funds went into our sinking funds like categories. So that was already placed over, and the 100 we already sent over to our savings too. But per our budget, since we are zero based, that was 825. That was our budget, and it's our actual as well because it is like our fixed with our budget. So $1,000 for our budget for daily, $31.75 our budget for bills, so $825 our budget for sinking funds and ally equals that total of $5,000. Since that's what we did with our budget setup. Now for our actual $1,075 plus 31,1616 plus that 825 means we spent a total of $5,016.16, and that means we are negative 58.84 minus 75 is that negative $16.16, which is honestly like not that bad of being negative. I mean, of course one would want to be positive so we can do something extra with that money, but negative 16.16 is actually not bad. And I know that it has a lot to do with our bills being under. We can also check that real quick too, for example, because I know we didn't really add it here, but I mean $825 we had that positive 58.84, which is that same number, then minus that 75 that we're negative. So out of our budget that we set for, because of our positive amount for bills, it kind of balanced out slightly. It's not as bad as I was thinking, so I'm very, very happy for that. But that is our results for the month of October for this year. I think there was only another month that we were negative. That was May, and we were negative by a lot more. But other than that, we were usually always positive by a couple hundred. Like March was pretty nice. March was also the month I attempted a rollover, but that I don't really like doing rollovers. So we looked really good here, and that is the end of this results video. Thank you guys so much as always for watching. If you guys have any questions, please do definitely let me know, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.